So I need to tell you about what's happening in July 2026 release of Home Assistant. And I need to say,
They done it. Who has bloody done it? Congratulations, son.
What is it, Del?
it's a major update to the user interface. So let's roll the credits and I can show you all the good stuff. Yes, I've got excited about this, but there is a reason. I hope you know I aim to make videos for beginners. And what they've done for the user interface in automations means it's completely beginner friendly, but it's also got the power so people that want to write in YAML can write in YAML. So we'll come to automations in a bit. First we're going to look at is it used to be called logs, but it's now called activity. So we'll have a little look at that and then we'll go straight on to automations. I promise it's good. So I said I was going to talk about activity to start off with. So it's all done in order and it does some things that I think's clever. So here, patio light on movement triggered by the state of patio movement sensor, occupancy cleared. And if I click here, I can see what's happened. I've got the run of what's going on here. Yeah, okay, it's got a bit technical, but it's easy to see and we can kind of get backwards and forwards. So we've got an improvement in here. You can see where things are and what's going on. You've also got the same improvement because it kind of follows its way through. If you look at devices, let's find a device. Is it called outside sensor? Again, the activity things are over here, showing what's changed and what's happening. So it kind of just makes life easier. Okay, that's not the exciting thing. I said that wasn't the exciting thing. The exciting thing is in automations. So let's switch over to automations. So in automations, things have changed. They've changed so things are understandable. So I'm going to create a new automation. I'm going to add a trigger and I'm going to say door opened. So I can pick a target and it's found all my door sensors. So I can say when the airlock door is opened for at least 30 seconds. And if the sun is up, sun is down, sun is set, okay, condition did not pass. The sun is still up here, and you can see straight away, you haven't got to worry. I know that's probably easy, the sun is set, but for doors are open where you can't see things, you've then got actions. And again, we can toggle switches. I'm just typing switch. You can switch lights on and off. You've got the blocks that you had before. There's no block lights. Let's so we've got all the conditions that are there. Everything is done by sensible measures. You don't need to know how things work anymore. I want to know about temperature. So I've got thermostats. Temperature. So I can set things in here. Go back to actions and take temperature out. There aren't many actions for temperature. We'll do that one in a second. So we want media player. And again, if you've watched my Alexa video, how to make Alexa work, there'll be a link at the top. You can make things happen to Alexa. So let's just go back and do the temperature one that I meant to do. So add a trigger. I'm in the right place now. Temperature crosses a threshold. So I can pick a target. Back garden sensor. So when the temperature in the back garden goes over 25 degrees, I could switch on the water sprinkler. That would be a very bad idea. I could send myself a message to say, don't go out in the garden, you won't like it. So things are making sense. Batteries. When a battery becomes low, add a target. Now, I've been picking individual devices, but you can do it on areas. If you wanted to check the bathroom batteries, no, that's not a good idea. You wanted to check the things in the bedroom that have got batteries, it'll check everything that's there. So, and we've got different options on the trigger. So the first time anything changes, we can make it happen, or you can make it happen for all of them, or you can say it happen each time something falls out or changes. So it's made life easy. So let's click each. Okay, so when batteries become low, I think there's only one thing that's got a battery in there. So the triggers, the and ifs, and the actions are now beginner friendly. Yes, if you're used to doing things the way you are, it might take you a couple of goes to get across. But the thing that is amazing is when you look at it, it actually makes sense now. So when the door is opened and the temperature has crossed the temperature threshold and a battery becomes low in the bedroom, this is going to be a trigger. So it's kind of updated everything you could possibly want. What I'm going to do now is create a kind of automation all the way through. So we'll do a proper automation. So let's do that now. So I'm going to need to explain before I kind of go in here. Right, we're going to do my kitchen lights when I come and get a drink in the middle of the night. In the kitchen, I've got some kitchen spots and I've got some undercovered lights. So when I come down in the middle of the night, I don't want to be blinded by kitchen spots. I want my undercover lights to come on. So that's our first aim, is when there's kind of movement in the kitchen. But there's a problem. My kitchen's an L-shaped. So I need multiple sensors because one sensor can't see round the corner. So that's the first thing. So I'm going to need to activate multiple sensors. I also, I don't want it coming on when the sun's up. And I also, if I'm already in the kitchen and the main kitchen spots are on, I don't need them on then, do I? So I'm sitting in the kitchen in the middle of the night anyway. But if it's not any of those things, I want my undercovered lights to come on. And when I leave the kitchen, I want the lights to come off. So that's simple. It's not simple the way we had to do things before. I had to join entities together and lots of exciting stuff. But this new release just works. So let's have a go. So I'm going to add a trigger. And I want to know when there's occupancy. So when occupancy has been detected. And I've got to add a target. So I can pick area, kitchen. And I've got 3 lots of sensors in my kitchen. So when do I want it to be switched on? So if I come in from the garden, I want that sensor that's down that end to register and switch my undercover lights on. If I come in from the computer room, again, I want them to come on. So it's not the first one. I want it to trigger on kind of anything that's there, don't I? So we'll go each, and we'll say at least 5 seconds. Now that's only because dogs are running about the house. I will switch the lights on them, but they have a tendency to run about like mad things. Right, the other thing we're going to need to do is edit an ID, and I'm just going to call it kitchen movement. Oh, okay. And the other thing you can do here is you can add a note. I could put a description. I don't really need this because it's called kitchen movement, but I could give myself some, if it's one of these sensors, I can give myself a little note. So I've got that, and every time one of those sensors is detected, it's going to switch the light on. It's on already, it won't make any difference. So, conditions. We only want to do this when the sun is set. Yeah. Okay. And a light is off. Again, add target and kitchen spots. Okay, so kitchen spots is on at present. So I only want this to happen when that's the case. And if it is, I want to add an action. I think it's a light and not a switch, but we'll find out in a minute. A link up there will show you how to change a switch into a light. If you see what the difference is. So I want to turn on a light, add a target, and I'm going to put it's a switch. I've not done it. So we'll just add another action, and we'll say turn on a switch, add a target. Let's try again. Under cupboards. There we go. And I'll just delete this one because we don't need it. So that should switch the light on. And as you can see, it kind of makes more sense. Occupancy detected in the kitchen. If the sun is set and the kitchen spots is off, then turn on the undercover lights. And we can do the reverse. So if I add another trigger, again, occupancy. Well, no, I don't want detected, do I? I want it the other way around. So let's delete that and just add another one back in. Occupancy cleared. Again, I can add a target. I'm going to pick an area. I'm going to say kitchen. Now this, again, I need to think of different here. So it's not when one of them, because I've got 3 sensors, they're all going to kind of fire on and off. Once all the targets have gone, all the sensors in the kitchen have cleared occupancy, I want this to happen. Okay, so let's just give this an ID, and I'm just going to call it cleared. Okay, so I'm going to need to put some blocks around the end of this action, so we'll just do that quick. Choose option number 1, add a condition. Movement, and cleared, and switch off, and target. Now, actually makes sense. I think what I'll do is I'll see you So I've got She Who Must Be Obeyed stood just here. And you can just see her arm. She's just appeared. And like I said, what I want to do is get her to explain what this automation does by reading what's on the screen. So, starting at the top, when
occupancy detected, kitchen.
So when occupancy detected in the kitchen.
Someone's in the kitchen, yeah.
When someone's in the kitchen. So we've got two triggers here. When occupancy
it's cleared
in the kitchen.
It's empty.
So these have got what's called IDs on them, which I will have to explain. So one's called kitchen movement and one's called cleared. Okay, so when that happens, so when there's somebody in the kitchen or there's not somebody in the kitchen, and if
sun is set,
so it's dark and the
light is off.
Which light?
Kitchen spots.
Quite easy really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, and you've got two options. If it's triggered by kitchen movement, what are we going to do?
Turn on switch.
Turn on switch.
Under the cupboards.
Yeah. If it's triggered by cleared,
turn off switch. Under cupboards.
Is that easy or is that easy?
That is easy.
Okay. You can go and watch EastEnders because like you always say to me, it won't watch itself, will it?
Doing tennis now.
Are you on tennis? Okay, fine. Thank you for your help. She's not really technical at all. Nothing. I didn't say you were not really technical at all. But as you saw, it's easy for a beginner to understand now. It just works. And you're thinking, but it used to be like that. I can prove to you, no, it didn't. This is my existing kitchen lights sensor. When kitchen movement changes to what? When kitchen movement changes from movement to not moving for one minute, 1 second, I don't know. I've got no and ifs, and I've got triggers. Kitchen spots is off. That still kind of works. I think it's managed to convert those, but it's not managed to convert everything. I am having major thoughts about rewriting all my automations to use the new style because it's easy. Because sometimes in the middle of the night when something's broken or I've done something stupid, I can't figure it out because I'm half asleep. It was an embarrassing time where I managed to switch off the freezer, and it took me a very long time to stop the Alexa saying, "Freezer is defrosting. Freezer is defrosting. Freezer is defrosting," because it was too complicated to understand. But it would have been so much easier if I've got automations that make sense. Okay, that's it for today. I definitely recommend you having a play with this and trying to convert your automations to use the new format because it's so much easier. If you could like and subscribe, that would be great. And I will see you on the next one. If you're not still rewriting your automations because you've got really excited about it like I have. So I'll see you on the next one, unless you want to watch this one here or this one up here. See you on the next one.